Hey, witches!
Hi, hello, and welcome back to the final episode of Fourth Wing.
Except for the fan cast, but yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. The finale of the story.
Da.
Oh, I don't even have the book open. Well, that fucking sucks now, don't. Anyways,
I do. Chapter 37.
Yes, chapter 37. What page is that?
475.
Okay, because I just wrote one comment, and apparently it's for the whole chapter.
I wrote a couple of comments. Oh no, I wrote quite a bit, actually. That's fine.
Okay.
On page 475.
This is your chapter, not mine. Go ahead.
I said
battle scene. That's why there's a lot going
on. So she's talking about how there's something that she's missing. She's like, there's something I'm missing. There's something I'm missing. And I'm like, put it together, Violet. And I realized that, like, technically you might not have even known at this point, but having already read it, I know what she's trying to put together or what she's missing. And I was so irritated.
You're like, God damn it.
And then, like, 2 pages later, she figures it out. And she only figures it out because she killed a venin and a whole bunch of wyvern died. Like, well, so like basically...
They made that comment. They were like, well, what if? And it's like...
hello!
Let's try that. We said that before. That's great. That's a risk we should take because if it's true, all of these bitches are falling. Like, let's do it.
And we need to kill them anyway, so why don't we start with that instead of fighting the wyvern over and over and over and over again? Anywho, I was so irritated. And then, like, 2 pages later, I wrote Gryffindor energy. Let me figure out why. On page 481. Oh, yeah. Maybe that is all I wrote for that chapter. Oh, yeah, because I turned the page the wrong way. Yeah, I wrote Gryffindor energy. And that was the end of the chapter. Because she fucking falls off the back of... Well, she takes her fucking seatbelt off, basically. Yeah. She gets out of her saddle and her straps. And then she is fighting the venin on Taryn's back, basically, right? Or is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because she's trying to channel more and more of Taryn's power.
Yeah.
To the point that it's probably going to kill her. And Xaden's telling her, like, screaming at her.
I remember why I wrote it. It wasn't just because of the self-sacrifice.
Yeah, and...
So, he's screaming at her, and then she's thinking in her head, like, because he finally... Xaden kills another venin. We're probably saying that wrong. But anyway, he kills one. And then in her head... She's like, damn, sometimes I forget just how beautifully lethal he is. Knowing they'll all live, I let gravity claim my body and slide from Taryn's back.
Bitch, he's gonna die too.
Right, knowing they'll all live, let me just go ahead and... like, what? I can't.
Xaden and the dragon.
Right, Xaden and most likely Taryn and Sigale and Darna... And Darna's what's she called? A
Feathertail.
Feathertail. I kept wanting to say tail feather, and I was like, that's not fucking right. So, like, she's even more attached. So she's that, like, I can't even, Violet. What the fuck? Let me just, like, okay. Anyway, that's all I got for chapter 37.
I just basically was like, oh my god, there's just so much happening.
So much happening.
Yeah.
I was so irritated that she wasn't putting it together, though. Like,
yeah, there was a lot. And the self-sacrificing thing is just like...
You're way more help alive than dead, first of all.
And all year long, like, anyone and everything that has ever been said to you or done to you, it is all trickled down to, if I die, Xaden dies, because Taryn dies and Sigale dies. Like, it's a chain effect. You can't sit here and say, I'm sacrificing myself because they're going to live.
No, they're not.
So if you die, 3 out of all of them are going to die as well. So that means 4 of you are, like, not saved. Like, that's a sacrifice.
At least, and that's not including Andarna.
Yeah. Like, and you don't even know, like, Andarna is by herself. Like, she loves you. Like, that's like her, those are like her parents. Like, she might be okay because of being a Feathertail, but that doesn't mean anything. Like, she's
right. Well, and like, you just used most of her power. Yeah, like, she's exhausted. Like, right. Like, she's exhausted. You just depleted most of her energy, and then you're gonna just let yourself die. Like,
yeah, and nobody knows that you've done that. Except for Xaden and the 2 dragons.
And yeah.
And all of them die, and they don't really realize, like, why she's there. They're just going to assume that she's dead, and then just, that's it.
Yeah, I can't even. Fucking violent, fucking Gryffindor-ass energy, not thinking. Anyway, chapter 38.
This is going to be a very short episode, just because...
This is going to be an extremely short episode. Because there's only 3 chapters. And we've already finished 1.
Yeah, and it's basically...
I only wrote 2 things for the next one.
Yeah.
So...
We deserve a break too, people. We deserve a break too.
Yeah! So in chapter 38, she's like, I think I might die today.
Yeah?
Bitch, really?
I wonder.
Okay. So they're all fucking panicking, whatever.
Like, side note, if I were to ever write a book and I let anyone proofread it and I have a self-sacrificing moment in here, please, dear God, tell me no. I saw something the other day on the Bitchy Bookworms Facebook group, and it was like, you ever get like the pet peeve that you're reading and you let out a sigh you didn't even know you were holding, and it's like, bitch, yeah, you did. And it was like, in the book it literally said, I let out a sigh I damn well knew I was holding, and I'm like, yes, that person knew. And
a reader wrote that.
Yeah. And I'm just like, listen, this is another thing, this right here.
Yeah. Yes.
The self-sacrificing.
Yes. So she's, I can't. Andarna saves her again. Andarna is like the fucking savior of this whole fucking book.
Yeah, I know.
She,
I just can't wait, because we kind of know, like, that it's time. So, like, I can't wait until she gets bigger. So then it's like, oh, yeah, your signet's going to be time and lightning. Like, it's going to be great. Because then you could, like, you could be, like, lightning over there, and go.
I know. I'm excited that we're almost done with this so I can start reading the next book. Because I haven't started it yet. Because I'm like, if I start it, I'm going to start confusing shit. Because the like, big surprise on the last page of this book, for some reason, I thought that happened way earlier. So I kept reading, like, when is this fucking gonna happen? And I was really confused. Anyway.
And then I was, when I finished this at 3:00 in the morning, I didn't have the second book, and I was like, fuck. So
yeah, because if you had, you probably would have kept reading right away.
I definitely would have. But you know what? I fucking bought it right then and there. And I was like, okay, in 2 days' time, I can continue reading it. And then Will's like, should you? And I was like, yes, I should.
Absolutely fucking should.
He's like, you have a big, fat fucking mouth. What do you mean? I was like,
I know.
What do I mean? Like, no, I want to read it.
I get confused and, like, mix the story together. And, like, so me reading ahead is not great.
Yeah, and he was like, you need to do something else. So I started reading another book, and there's so much in that world, and work got really stressful, so, like, my brain couldn't fathom anything. So I was like, okay, I just need to, like, play a game. I just need to play a game. I finished that game, so now I'm ready for a book.
Oh my gosh. I have been reading the Hades and Persephone saga, and I am going to have the biggest book hangover when I'm done. So it's a very good thing that I have Iron Flame to like dive into.
Soften the blow.
Yes.
Maybe just a bit.
It's right. Fine. Speaking of softening the blow.
Yeah, it's fine. My friend Fee's going to have the worst book hangover.
Oh my God. Yeah, she is.
She's like halfway through the 3rd book of ACOTAR finally. And the key to getting her to read the books was Audible. That's all it was. That's literally all it was. I think it's taken her 2 weeks and she's almost through the 3rd book now. And not even 2 weeks, actually. I think it's been like a week and maybe a few days. And she's like, I can't wait for the next book. I can't wait for the next book. Yeah. I'm like,
so I wish, like, if I could go back, I would read the Throne of Glass series first.
Yeah.
Because I'm struggling to get through it a little bit. Mm-hmm. Because it's so YA. Like, at least the first couple books. Like, I've read the first 2.5 books. Mm-hmm. And then I, like, paused, and I've read, like, multiple other series. And I think after I finish Hades and Persephone, I'm going to try to dive back into it, but I don't know.
So,
I don't know.
Chloe's read all of them, and she's actually really, like, enjoyed them. I think just probably because it was, like, why it wasn't, like, a lot of, like, I guess not necessarily, like, a lot of thinking behind it, but, like, it was just kind of one of those things that you could just read, and then there's, like, a story there. But she struggled. She still hasn't even finished, like, Crescent City. Like,
really?
Yeah, she.
See, like, and that's why I want to finish Throne of Glass, because I do want to get Crescent City.
Yeah, she said that she was fine with Throne of Glass and all of those, like Assassin's Blade, all of that. She couldn't get into Crescent City. It was too much. It was so boring. Like, she couldn't get to the point where it, like you know, in ACOTAR, it's like you have to get through everything until, like, the last pages, and then it hits. She's like,
SJM does do a lot of world building. Like, she does a lot of setting the scene.
Yeah, she's like, I can't even get to that point. Like, I don't even know where the point is. I just can't get to it.
And they're big books.
Yeah, so
I do still want to read them, though.
Yeah, I just want to see the Azrael like mashup and what everyone's talking about. Like, I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to hear what was said. I would like to be like in La La Land until then.
Yeah, same. Yes. So anyway, back to Fourth Wing. So Andarna stopped time again, right? Or no? Yeah, she stopped time, and she's like slowing Violet's fall by catching her, but she's not strong enough to, like, fly with her. So she's just kind of slowing her fall.
Somebody wouldn't be able to get to her unless she did.
Right. So then she is, I believe, on the ground. Yeah. And Xaden is, like, panicking because there was possibly poison on the dagger, yada, yada, yada. And he's like, I'll take care of you. Just live. Please live. And he's, like, over here basically professing his fucking love. And she's like, of course he wants me to live. I'm integral to his survival. You dumb bitch.
You just purposely got off your fucking dragon. What do you mean?
Right. Like, are you... What?
You to live. 5 seconds ago, you were like, at least they'll live. No, fuck you.
Yeah, I can't even. Like, so what I wrote, I didn't write you dumb bitch. I wrote, do you really still believe that? Like, that's the only reason he wants you to survive? After everything y'all have been through together, you really think that's the only reason he wants you to survive?
That right there.
Like,
damn it.
Oi. And then the last thing I have to say is on the last page of that chapter on 487.
I don't have a lot to say about a lot of things throughout this entire chapter. I literally just have one comment about the whole thing. So, so obviously, like, she's in a lot of pain. There's something happening. She got hurt. They think it's poison. They're not really sure. They're too far away from, the Basgiath. They're too far away from a lot of places. They're not near the wards. Like, they're running out of time. Like, she could die any second now, and they don't really know how long they have it. They're hours away from any place that they know could save her. So they go to a location that, I don't know, not a lot of people think of, or I don't know, has heard of in years. But they go there, and she's like kind of going through her brain. She's like, this hurts so much. Like, I wish they would just let me die. Like, I wish they would just stop. Like, I deserve this. Like, if it wasn't for me, Liam would be here. If I feel like I'm on fire, blah blah blah, all these kind of things. And like, Xaden's trying to like get her to fight it, like trying to get her to stay, conscious enough to kind of like what you would do to somebody who's got like a gunshot wound or something like that. It's kind of like that shock where you got to stay awake throughout the shock. So she is in this, they kind of come into this location, and a familiar voice says Xaden, and she can't quite place it. She doesn't know who it is. She's like, Bodhi, maybe? One of the second years? I don't know. There's so many strangers, no friends, no this, but Liam's dead. Like, she's obviously like kind of going delirious at this point. And Xaden's like, you have to save her. And I'm sitting here like, it's fucking Brennan. It's gotta be. Wait a goddamn minute. It's Brennan, isn't it? He's powerful enough. Like, he knows enough about medicine. He knows enough about mending. Like, it's gotta be Brennan. It's gotta be him. I don't believe he ain't fucking dead. I also saw a spoiler. So, like, I know he ain't dead. Like, I had my inclination. Like, I was like, what if he's not? And then I saw the spoiler, and I was like, okay, confirmed.
I know. The only thing I wrote was ... a familiar voice.
I know. I was like, how familiar, huh? How familiar? But, like,
can't say family or familiar without family.
All I could think of. Never mind. We're not talking about that yet. That's next week. Anyways, so yeah, I was sitting here like, that's gotta be fucking Brennan, bro. That's gotta be Brennan. You have to save her. No, fuck you. That's Brennan. Like, of course he would save her. That's his fucking sister. That's his baby. That's his baby sis. Man, what a fucking loop that would be. Walking in and just finding your fucking half-dead sister right here, a writer. And
bro!
Like, bro, you're supposed to be in the fucking archives. What are you doing here?
Right, what are you doing here? Like, what's happening?
Oh shit, she's dying. I gotta help her.
Oh my god.
Anyway, chapter 39, the last chapter of the entire first book of this series, and it's in Xaden's perspective, which is kind of cool.
Yes.
I do enjoy having like the opposites, not even the opposite sex, like the opposite characters.
Yeah.
Because like we always see it from like one side, like, oh, of course he wants it because like I'm integral to his survival. Okay, but now we're seeing it from his standpoint, like.
Yes. I very much enjoy it. I don't know. I would have enjoyed it more, I think, if it had been consistent throughout the book. Sometimes it throws me for a loop when it's just like one chapter.
Yeah.
Like the Hades and Persephone saga does it throughout the book. There's like, especially the book I'm on right now, which is Game of Gods. It switches from Hades to it's the 6th one. It's the third Hades book. So it switches from not Hades to Persephone. It's all Hades, but then there are random chapters of Dionysus. So we get like additional information that we didn't have before. But the books themselves, like all of the books that start with a touch, like a touch of chaos, a touch of malice, a touch of ruin, those are all Persephone's point of view. And then a game of are all Hades point of view. I don't know. I like it.
Oh, that's cool. Kind of like Silver Flames. It's like a couple Nesta, a couple Cassian, like maybe one here.
Yeah.
Of a different.
And it's like all happening at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's A Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson. I think that's what's really throwing me off, and it's really like I'm like 150 pages in. I swear to God, I only read 7 chapters. But like it's a prelude, prologue, and then like chapter 1, and then it's like 1,000 or like 4,000 years prior, and then it's like 50 years or like 5 years prior, 8 years or something like that, and then it's like
so the timeline is jumping.
Yeah, and then you like read the first chapter, and then he's like reminiscing of what happened prior in like years ago in one chapter, and I'm like, he was in a slave cart. And then I'm like, wait, okay, hold on. He's just reminiscing now. And then I like, then we're back in the slave cart, and I was like, okay, here we go. And then like we're reading again, and I'm like, wait, hold on, what the fuck is happening? And so then I'm like, okay, where's the map? And then I was like, okay, we're here. And I'm like, what? And I look at Will, and he's like giddy, like he's really excited. Like his first tattoo is this, like this is his. Like he would leave me for Kaladin. Like he loves this guy, like everything. And I'm sitting here like, I'm so confused. Although I do like the power system in it. I think the power system's really cool. We can talk about that in a second, but the power system.
I do want to get more into his books. There's a couple other ones that I've been wanting to
read. He created like a similar system to Mistborn, but different. But it's like a whole new like idea behind it. And somebody actually animated the scene, and it like perfectly shows it. And I was like, that is so cool. So I'll have to show it to you and send you the link so you can watch it. But
yeah.
Anyways, but yeah, so Xaden's just, panicking. He's sitting in his old where does he live? Where did he
live? Motherfucker.
We're looking on the book, and we have a fucking map to look at.
Oh, right.
Aratia? I think Aratia.
Aratia. Yeah.
It's fine. I was looking up the Venin pronunciation, and I never completed that. But anyways, he's back in his old room in his old hometown. And he's like reminiscing of the times that he was there, like feeling a little sad about his dad, but like also worrying about Violet, making sure she's gonna like survive. So Gale's like in his head saying like, it's gonna be okay, she'll be fine. And he's like, it's been days, she hasn't woke him up, you don't know that, blah 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 this, blah 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 that. Like she's got color in her what?
My animals are fighting.
Odin's like, please love me.
Yes, exactly.
And it's like, and he's like kind of going through a guilt trip here. He's like, she suffered for a crime that she didn't even commit, something that like her best friend's father delivered, something that like no one even suspected, not even herself. Like Liam also suffered. Like he's just like, he's taking his
eating himself up.
Yeah. And it's like, here's the thing, You know how like Reese is like, oh, I'm taking the whole world on my shoulders kind of thing? Like Xaden legitimately is. Like he's like, if any of these guys step out of line, like it's my neck. Like they will legitimately kill me, and I am keeping them in line for these reasons. And it's just insane because like there is a lot on the line for Xaden right now, and it's just so fucking terrible for him.
Yes, all of it. Yes.
And his love, whatever the fuck, we hear it one way, we hear it another way. It's not confirmed yet.
And he's kind of doing the same stupid shit that she was doing in the last chapter. I should have left her at Bisgayeth or sent her with Atos, even if it's strange Sigale and Taryn. Again, if you then went to this place and died, she would also die. So that doesn't protect her at all. At least this way, you can use her power and have a fighting chance at winning.
Yeah.
But
it's, I don't know. It's rough. You got 107 knocks on your back that you're worried about and trying to keep
all those people in line.
And now you have the general's daughter you're trying to keep alive as well.
Right. I think so. I just realized what I was talking about. So Taryn then starts like yelling at Xaden in his head. He's like, you should have told her about the venom. I kept waiting for you to impart the information, and now she's suffering. And he's like, I should have done a lot of things differently. And I was like, yeah, you should have.
Yeah, you fucker.
And then she wakes up and they're talking. And where's this?
The audiobook lady calls it Orisha.
Orisha, okay.
But apparently she changes her pronunciation though. Like one day she'll say Orisha and the next one she'll say Orisha. But somebody who's Spanish says Oratia. I don't fucking know. Rebecca Yaros hasn't said anything, so I would assume the audiobook person's pretty close though.
Probably.
I feel like
what was I talking about? Oh, I'm looking at the wrong page.
Girl, that's why.
So oh, she says, why haven't I read about this? So she looks out the window and she's like realizing where she is. And she's like, is this rebuilt or never burned? And he says, in the process of rebuilding. And she says, why haven't I read about this? And I was like, why do you think, Violet? Like, do you think that your mom and General Melgren are just going to be like, yeah, they're rebuilding, it's fine.
Yeah.
No big deal. They probably don't even fucking know. Or if they do,
they don't care.
And they're definitely not going to be like spreading that knowledge, because then all of those kids with the rebellion tattoos could go there. Everyone, like other people that don't agree with what the government is doing, could go there. Like, it's just a bad idea all around.
And I feel like her mother knows exactly where Brennan is. I don't think she's hiding. I think they all know exactly. I think they have an idea. I don't know. I feel like there's much more to it. God damn it! I keep going to a book that's not even the book we're reading about. I feel like her mom knows Brennan's alive and was like, not necessarily cast out, but like, I guess cast out. I mean, I guess that's a way to put it. Disowned. She's very military focused, and she's a brat like that, so I would see that.
Yeah.
But
I'm trying to figure out what the fuck I was talking about when I wrote something. On page 495, I wrote, "Still one secret there, Xaden." But I can't figure out what the fuck I was talking about.
The fact that maybe her brother's alive.
Maybe. Oh, that is probably what I was talking about. Like, yes, he's told her everything, but there's still one secret that she doesn't know about. And then there was a quote on this page that I fucking love, and this might take us down a rabbit hole or like down a whole tangent, but down at the bottom of 495, it says, "Funny how people rename everything that makes them feel uncomfortable, like murder, rape, like all of these different things, genocide, like." There's all kinds of things that we just rename them because that sounds worse. Like
apostasy, secession, as the Navarians call Dad's rebellion.
Yeah. Yep.
Didn't the British have like a specific name for the Americans' rebellion?
Probably. I don't know what it is.
I feel like I read that somewhere that like I don't know. I feel like I read like a history book of something where that was.
Yeah, they probably did because they're not going to call it the revolution.
Yeah. We called it the revolution. They were like, it's a rebellion. They hate us. And then we have Jonathan Groff singing a wonderful serenade. I love that song. Listen, that is such a good.
They called it the insurrection.
Aha! There it is. I love that musical. It's such a good musical.
It truly is.
I love Jonathan Groff's song just because
First of all, it's funny, and then he like drops it in the one song. Yeah.
I'm like, you don't even have any lines, really.
All right, and then there's the Groff sauce.
Rice that is willing to pay.
Anyway.
We're all just like, why? And he's like, I just like the character and it just happens. And we're like,
yeah. Why though? Then the last, I only have 2 more things left, and they're both on page 498.
Go ahead. I only wrote one thing at the very last line of this entire book.
He says, "I'll tell you anything you want to know and everything you don't. I'll spend every single day of my life earning back your trust." And she goes, "And if it's not possible?" And I said, "It's possible." And then the very last like little blurb where we learn the big secret of the whole book, I was like, finally, because again, I'd been anticipating this for like chapters because for some reason I thought it happened way earlier. And now that I'm thinking about it, I know why, but
it was
there's another book.
A
different series.
A different series.
And I was like, there's a different series that I was like combining.
Oh, I was gonna say, I feel like there's like parts in this book that's like, not that I'm saying like they're hinting that he's still alive. I just feel like there's comments that are made or this that happens or that happens that it's like, well, what if like they always made it a point to say like, well, all of his things were burned because he died, like all of his things were this because he died, like all of his things or all of that, but they never actually dived down deep into it about why not everything was burned, you know?
Yeah.
So then I'm like,
what the fuck?
Maybe her dad's alive. No, her dad's probably not alive, but maybe.
I don't know. I was thinking that though. So when you said that before, I don't think you had finished the book yet, but you said something about her dad being alive. And I'm like, I wouldn't honestly be surprised if he's not alive and if we're going to find that out in Iron Flame and that he is also there with Brennan. Like, I would not be surprised at all. I actually wouldn't even be surprised if she's like secretly working from the inside. I don't know. We will find out.
But that would be cool.
I doubt it. That would be like a huge plot twist. So I doubt it, but yeah, I like it.
There's a third one, so I mean,
yeah, it's already on pre-sale.
I already bought it.
I have not yet, but
I already bought it. It's coming. But yeah, last line of the entire book says Brennan just grins and opens his arms. Welcome to the revolution, Violet. And I was like, I fucking knew it. So yeah, so Brennan is alive. She is in Erasia with her brother and her quote unquote boyfriend, whatever, not boyfriend, whatever they are. I actually read something where they were like, what if in Iron Flame, Xaden and Violet aren't endgame, but Dane is. And
I will burn my motherfucking book.
Hold on. Listen. I'm not saying I agree with this, but hear it out. And I didn't hear the whole thing. Someone just said, what if? But I started thinking about it. What if it is, in fact, Dane is the end game? Not saying, like, what if Xaden, like, passes or dies or whatever, or, like, shit with him and Violet never go back to the way it should. You're getting ready to fucking burn it.
I will burn it.
But, like, and what if Dane, like, sees the error of his ways, sees the things that are happening around him, and sees what it is?
I don't give a flying fuck.
And then he comes to the revolution, and I'm just like, I wouldn't like it, but I would enjoy seeing Dane actually take that stick out of his ass for once.
I would love for Dane to get a redemption arc. Him and Violet being endgame, I would be so fucking pissed. He has shown her over and over and over and over again that he doesn't respect her. Like, I do not accept that coupling. Absolutely. He would have to have a full character, like, rewrite.
He better have.
I don't accept that.
Fucking series spinoff rewrite kind of.
Right. That would be like fucking Tamlin getting a redemption arc. No.
Yeah. No.
She tried, but no, I do not accept that.
She tried. No, she
didn't. I mean, no. I think that she attempted, but she did not do it. She fell very far off the mark if she was truly trying to redeem Tamlin. But that's a different book. Although I did get this sticker.
Oh, yes. Yes, I love it.
On the TikTok shop.
Love that. By the way, did you know that Rebecca Yarros started a nonprofit with her husband, which in 2019, which helps children in the foster care system.
I did not.
1 October. Yeah, so having fostered and then adopting their youngest daughter, Rebecca is passionate about helping children in the foster system through her nonprofit 1 October, which she co-founded with her husband in 2019. So their mission, you can visit more and learn more about that at oneoctober.org. I thought that was pretty cool.
That is cool. I just read that in the author blurb thing about the author.
Yeah, because we're at like the end of the book. My book kept like flinging to like the back of the book, and so I just like kept looking at it. And it says she's a second generation army brat, and I'm like, well, no wonder this is a military-esque book.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. Dang, she's a mom of 6 kids. Good for her. But
really, guys?
I love that. So if you're interested in looking at her nonprofit, go ahead and take a look at that.
Absolutely.
Sorry, I had Mexican food and I also have some bad indigestion right now. So I'm like heartburn. It's called getting old. I'm also under a lot of stress because let me tell you, retail is not for everybody.
Ew, no, it is not.
Retail. And is not for me. Retail is fine. Corporate retail.
Fair. Yeah.
Absolutely over. But anyways, yay. Next time we're going to do fan cast. So until next time.
Bye.